Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Pro and Expert Division in the Coastal Classic Tournament. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. So let's go. We're going to start with hole number 1, 10% extra for the drive, so 1-0. Then we're going to use, in this type of wind, we're not going to use as low as 1 bar topspin. We're going to use somewhere between 2 to 4 bars of topspin, so we do not have to stretch out our target like we're doing here now. We're playing with an extra mile level 6, which on this account gives me the most distance possible. And I think that's very valuable here, to play with the club that gives you the most distance. A power 3 ball is not entirely necessary, but it's very helpful, especially when it comes to the second shot. When we are going to play this hole, we can play to the right as well. We can either play with a power slice or we can play with a regular maxed curled shot. And now I'm talking about for those of you playing with an Apocalypse level 4+, or you might play with a power slice with either the extra mile or the Thor's hammer. I do think though that playing to the right needs a lot of topspin, trying to clear the first piece of rough. The reason that I don't think that you should try that one otherwise is that you're going to get such an inconsistent result and most likely going to end up into the rough or into the sand every time. So if you do want to get a consistent way of approaching the pin for an albatross, even though it's going to somewhat be further away than if you would succeed with a drive to the right, then we play up there to the left and then we're going to have a sniper towards the pin. Here I do play with the Guardian as the sniper is in a very low level, so the Guardian is going to be the club here. But if you have the sniper in level 6+, then the sniper is going to be the club for you here. As for its good accuracy, but especially for the ball guideline. Being this far away, having to adjust for the pin, ball guideline is so crucial that it's going to almost be a must to get a consistency with your approach. Otherwise you're gonna try to visualize it and sometimes you're gonna be right, sometimes you're gonna be wrong, and it's very hard to build a consistency from that. The second shot for hole number 1 is also going to be played 10%, so don't forget to say that. Hole number 2. Here I would suggest you to play with the quarterback if you do have it in at least level 8, and we do want to play with max side spin to the right, 1 bar to 2 bars of topspin with some form of tailwind. If we do have a crosswind, we're going to play with 2.5 to 3. If we do play with headwind, I'm gonna say we play with 3 to 4 bars of topspin. So we're not gonna use like a ton of topspin here. The most important part here though is just get it over here to the left. The drive here is going to be played 5% extra when you do adjust here, and then we're going to play with a little bit more for the second shot. Also, before we go to the second shot, visit golfclashtommy.com for more content for the Coastal Classic Tournament, and also content for basically every single tour, and also tournament, golden shot, whatever on the website. You can also ask questions through the contact form, so you can get in contact with us in an easy way. If you do want to get the text guides, you might in an easier way follow the text guides, but also the text guides do have all the information that I'm trying to cover here in this playthrough. And you can sign up on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. I would make a shout out especially for the updated text guides, where you will get everything from, a very detailed instruction of every shot combined with win per ring tables, where you don't have to use any help tool to play the par 3s. You do already have the wind and the rings on the side, and also yardage notes that is going to help you dial in par 4s and par 5s from distance. Now, second shot, and we're going to play this one 10% downhill. And once again, downhill means that we do need to add. And I'm going to play with the sniper, as I do have a power 2 or power 3 ball. And here it is very important to play with a ball with at least power 2, so you can reach with your sniper. Because once again, as for hole number 1, playing with a sniper here with a ball guideline when we're playing so far away is super important, as you're otherwise going to have to guess, kind of guess at least, where to put the ball guideline if playing with the Guardian, Big Dog, or if so the Cataclysm. Max plus 10, and we're playing with a decent amount of side spin to the right to just make sure that we're staying away from all the obstacles to the right. Coming in a little bit short, but this is definitely going to be an opportunity for you to get that one in the hole. Hole number 3, the hardest par 3 in the tournament, and also one of the toughest par 3s in the whole game. From second tee, and that will also be for third tee, we're going to play 50% extra, so 5-0. That's a lot. And in this scenario, I'm going to try to play the rough bump. I do believe that if you, from second tee especially, if you're playing with some sort of a crosswind, the rough bump is going to be a possibility to play. Then I would suggest to play with the quarterback or the rock to give you a good ball guideline, to also give you a good accuracy. Because if you do hit this ball great with a low level accuracy club, then you know we don't really know what's going to happen. But 50% extra, very important. If you're not going to play for the rough bump, you're going to play for the fairway spot that is that is further back, so you kind of bounce it on that over towards the green, but then it's gonna be purely a birdie hole on hole number 3. Hole number 4, here it is a course where if we do have crosswind or we do have tailwind, then we are going to go for the green, or not really green, but fairway by the green, so we secure the eagle. 10% extra for the drive, and I would suggest that you're putting at least the blue ring by the rough line to the left instead of the red ring, because when you're curling in crosswind and also in tailwind, the ball guideline is going to change position. Like in tailwind, you're going to see yourself gaining more distance when you curl in tailwind, as that's how the game works. If you curl in crosswind, right to left, the ball is going to move more to the left than expected. So therefore we need to give ourselves room from the side there. 3 bars topspin. You know, you can play with all from 2.5 to 4 or 5 bars of topspin, but I think 3 is the magic number, as they used to say in a commercial. But 3 is very good number here, and use max curl to the left, max side spin to the left. And even if I play with an apocalypse of 6, doesn't mean that you have to. You can play with a lower level apocalypse. So if you do have a lower level apocalypse, I would suggest that you're playing that one. If not, then we're going to dial in the power hook with a quarterback or another club, but especially the quarterback I think is going to be featured there. So whatever works for you, but I think it's easier to go with a regular shot with the apocalypse, even in a lower level, than trying to dial in a power hook, at least as a start. And now we do have a very short wedge, and we're going to secure the eagle. And then we're going to go to hole number 5. And hole number 5 is a par 3, where in this example I'm only going to play here on the island to the right, bouncing myself towards the green. 1 bar of backspin, max side spin to the left, changing that one a little bit to go with 2 bars. We do not want to come in too hot and roll over the green completely. It's a very tricky green if we're playing at the spot that I'm aiming for here now, and side spin 3 is super important. 10% extra, and we're going to adjust for that, and then we're going to apply curl. Around 1 ball of curl outside the adjustment ring to the left, and then we're gonna take our shot. I would say that if you do have this type of wind, or you have any form of wind right to left, then I would suggest you play the rough bump with the sniper. If you do have left to right type of wind, then we're gonna stick with the shot that I'm doing here now, as the tree will be in a way. But if we can play the rough bump, that's what we're going to do in the tournament, and then I will obviously include the rough bump going forward, like in the tournament. Hole number 6, another tough par 5, and here we're going to play with max topspin, and we're going to try to go for the double bounce and max distance with a 10% over adjustment. Here I play with a power 3 ball, and I would say, sure, for the drive the power 3 ball is very important, but you could handle this one with a power 2, power 1. But for the second shot then we do need to have the power 3 ball to give ourselves the distance, and give ourselves, even if it is a minimal chance, but it's at least a chance. So that is very important that you start with a power 3 ball. We're getting it over there by bouncing, and then to roll on the final piece of fairway. And once we're getting there, we should consider ourselves being, you know, we are not gonna miss the eagle now, at least. That's gonna be tough to do. But if you're going to miss the eagle, then you're most likely not going to adjust for the correct elevation for the second shot. Because the elevation for the second shot is played 20% downhill. Very important that you are adjusting for that, as you otherwise will come in, you know, too hot, too short, or too much to the side. In this case, I would rather play with a sniper than I would be playing with the big dog. The reason being is once again the ball guideline. So rather use sniper with a little bit of topspin instead of trying to use the big dog and trying to visualize how the ball guideline is going to behave. We do want to aim for the ball to come in on the left side of the green, because the green slightly slopes left to right. So if we're going to have even once again, if we're going to have even just a little bit of a chance, then I would say that you need to get the ball to come in on the left side, as now, even though we're coming in a little bit short, but you can see how the green slopes down there to the right. We're gonna go to the final par 3 in this playthrough, and also the final par 3 in the tournament, hole number 7. This is a tough one because it's so bumpy. It's very, very hard to get the consistency. There is a rough bump here to go with, but it's a very tough one to get any consistency with the roll. So the thing that I choose is to play with 2 bars of topspin, max side spin to the right, and then playing with the sniper on the first fairway, and then applying curl. For those of you that has been playing this hole on tour number 12 can vouch for how hard this one is to get the consistency on, combined with getting the hole in one. So here I would say don't spend too much time trying to dial this one in. Be okay with the birdie, and the only thing here that I would change is to go with a little bit more curl. 15% extra, 1-5, very, very important. We go to not the last hole, but the one before that, hole number 8, and here we're going to play with a power 3 ball, giving ourselves the possibility to bounce over to the second fairway. There is 2 ways to play, or like 3 ways to play this one. Either we do like this, we're just taking it easy. We bounce over the rough sand and water, trying to get over to the next piece of fairway. And from this distance here, it's very important that we are going to play with a club that gives us a lot of backspin. Saturn, Tsunami is 2 preferred clubs. If we are not having like an angled tailwind like this, and we're having more like a straight tailwind, then I would suggest that you're playing with a power 3 ball. Give yourself the distance with the driver, combined with as much topspin as possible, trying to get to the top right fairway. You can see on the gaming screen the little piece there, trying to get over there, because if you get over there, you're definitely going to have a very good chance making the eagle from distance with your thorn, because the thorn there with the backspin is very lethal. Also, if you're not getting over there to the top right, like the risk with it is that you get into the rough, then I would say that you do want to have a club with backspin from the rough as well. Amazon, upgraded off-roader, or maybe a racer or something like that, so you can at least give yourself a chance. The last thing that we can say about the drive there is, like, if we do have a straight headwind, we cannot reach over, we'll lay up, and then we're gonna go for a rough bump by the green using the rough that you can see down below there. Elevation adjustment is going to be 10% extra for the drive. The second shot is not going to be played with any elevation, so you're just gonna play that one as it is. Even though it looks uphill for you, it's not going to be played uphill. So it's very important that you do have that in mind when you're going to play this shot. And if we can stay away from using the slope here on the fairway just before the green, then I would stay away from that, because it gives you an inconsistency and it's going to be very hard to do what I'm doing there. Last but not least, we're going to play with on hole number 9, a par 5 that we end up with, which is going to be tough. And here, this is an older recording, and it kind of shows with the way that I'm playing this one. With this type of wind, I should be playing on the right side, and there is 2 ways on this one, and I'm going to try to explain both of it, even though I'm just going to show the one to the left. We start with the left, and we say that the drive there is going to be 10% uphill. Very important. Max topspin, as much side spin to the right. The curl is not necessary, because we do not want to risk going into the rough on the right. So we rather want to come in more to the left and then, you know, get the ball to fall back down to the right. For the second shot from the left, it's going to be played 40% extra, which is a lot. If we play to the right side, then we're going to play 10% extra for the drives. It's downhill if we play to the right, and then we do need to play with a club that gives us curl. Extra mile level 6 might not be the best one for that. I would then, if so, suggest that you play with a very low level Apocalypse, or, you know, if you have a higher level Apocalypse, you play with that one instead. Or you will have to play with some overpower with a quarterback. Power 3 ball is a must, no matter what side you're playing from, and if you're gonna continue on the right side, you get to the fairway, you play that one 5% extra. So it's downhill for the second shot as well. So basically, any form of tailwind or crosswind from the second tee, we play on the right. If we do have headwind in some form, we play on the left, as it's gonna be tough to get over to the right. If we play to the left, it's a purely an eagle hole. If you get eagle, be happy. If you play on the right, you do have a shot for the albatross. Second shot here now, and we're going to play the 40% extra. And when we're playing with this much elevation, it's going to be so tough for you to get any consistency with this one. You can also see when you move the ball guideline around how bumpy the fairway is going to be for you, and that's super tough. Yeah, that's super tough in itself. And, you know, we get this shot to bounce there on the fairway, and then we're going to get the ball to green, making sure that we are making an eagle. The playthrough here and the videos for the tournament is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. If you do have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. You can also fill in the contact form on the website and get in contact with us through email. Sign up on patreon.com/golfclashtommy for training sessions, text guides for tour play, and also tournaments. Yes, so I would like in the end here, and I hope it goes well for you in the tournament, I want to wish you the best of luck and good luck in your game.